Good day, sir. Good day, everyone. So our report today is about the contribution of medieval period today. So a number of very important inventions were made in medieval times, such as the spinning wheel, stirrups, astrolabe, eyeglasses, compass, tidal mills, and gunpowder and printing press. A large number of inventions came to be during the medieval period, given that the medieval period was marked by warfare throughout the different parts of Europe. Most of the significant inventions of the period were directly or indirectly related to warfare. However, there were other inventions such as the clock, printing press, and architectural innovations which played a critical part in shaping medieval Europe. Here are some of the most important inventions from the medieval period. So first, the astrolabe. Astrolabe was an important medieval invention. They were used by navigators, astronomers who studied the movement of celestial bodies. So the astrolabe is a device which is used to measure the position of the sun and different stars in the sky accurately. It was invented during the medieval ages, with the earliest astrolabes appearing in Moorish Spain during the 12th century. From Spain, the astrolabe reached wider Europe and in time became one of the permanent devices used for astronomical purposes. Given the application of astronomy in many related sciences, the astrolabe is considered one of the most important scientific inventions of the medieval period.
Compass. Compass is a device that helps in recognizing the cardinal points of the Earth, namely north, south, east, and west. Being able to determine this direction was vitally important to the sailors, navigators, and diviners and ecclesiastical authorities since the days of classical antiquity. Compass in medieval Europe came to be simply a result of the need for navigators, sailors, and merchants to safely traverse the waters of the Mediterranean. Naval warfare remained a part of the military lifestyle of medieval Europe since the beginning of the medieval period. This was evident in the naval battles between Arabs and Byzantines in the 8th century and the ongoing naval conflict for the supremacy in the Mediterranean. Navigation in the sea was critically important for longer sea voyages, and it was only in the 13th century that the invention of the compass made sea navigation easy for sailors. The dry compass was invented in Europe sometime during the 13th century, while compass more aptly suited for naval use was invented by Arabs in the 14th century.
The printing press. Printing press was a very important invention in the medieval history. Invented by Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century and creating a printing revolution. The basis for the modern printing press were laid in 15th century when Johannes Gutenberg in Germany invented a unique printing press of his own. By using the prevalent printing mechanism, he used new methods and equipment to speed up and automate the process of printing. Before his press, books which had to be printed required a lot of labor and took a lot of time to make, essentially limiting the use of books to the rich and wealthy. The Gutenberg press became a precursor to cheaper printing presses, which were established all over Europe and become one of the key inventions that made the European Renaissance possible. So, ang ga-invent dahil sa printing press is si Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century and creating a printing revolution. And sa wala pa iyang printing press na invent, lisod yun ang paagi sa printing ug it can took a lot of time to make. And then when the printing press was invented, the printing press made books more accessible, spreading knowledge widely and quickly, which had a profound impact on society, particularly during the Renaissance and Reformation.
Good day, sir. I'm Harold Maputol. So, the next is gunpowder. Before the invention of gunpowder, warfare in the medieval period remained more or less the same as the warfare in the antique period. Although armor involved significantly and weapons corresponded in this revolution, warfare still required men ride or on horses or close in the front of foot. Commonwealth different weapons defend themselves with armor and face on enemy at close quarters. So all of this changed with invention of the gunpowder. Gunpowder had been invented in the China as early as the 9th century but reached widespread use in Europe only by the 13th century. Impossible due to the battlefield interaction with the Mongols. By the 14th century, gunpowder weapons were being used by the European armies, and by the 15th century, this weapon had been effectively replaced most of the conventional weaponry. That's all, sir, and thank you.
Mechanical clock. Until the High Middle Ages, there was no accurate and accessible way of measuring time. People had to rely on natural phenomena, such as the movement of the sun, or contraptions such as hourglass or calibrated candles. It was only in the 14th century that innovations in church bell ringing mechanism evolved to give birth to the earliest mechanical clocks. The first of these dates back to 1344, being used in the cathedral in Padua. In subsequent decades and centuries, clocks began to become more accurate, sophisticated, and compact. In time, these clocks would give birth to pocket watches and in more recent times to wristwatches. So until the High Middle Ages, the time was measured using the natural event like the sun's movement or devices like hourglasses. Accurate and accessible timekeeping began in 14th century with the development of mechanical clocks, starting with one in a Padua cathedral in 1344. Over the centuries, clocks became more precise and compact, eventually leading to the creation of pocket and wristwatches.